Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making? Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, Larry W. Brooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we had over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Good day. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, you can reach out to me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week, just like it is every week here on the Prime Real Estate Network show. And I'm so very, very, very excited about this week's guest, man. So the time is now. Take your phone, laptop, iPad, let your neighbors, your friends, DM, text, let them know. This week's episode of the Prime Real Estate Network is live, and this is an episode you do not want to miss. But first, I want to take some time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand, and now the greatest and latest getting involved in commercial real estate here in the state of Texas and all over. I'd like to introduce the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's going on, big time?
Hey, I can't call it Rick, man. Just enjoying life. As you can see, I'm kind of parried up today with the Arvo real estate brand. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the commercial space now. What can I tell you?
Hey, man, you see, I tried to enlighten the audience and let them know that the Texas Real Estate King has added another patch to his jacket.
Yeah.
And that is as a commercial real estate expert. So first thing first, Mr. Brooks, how is it expanding your reach into the commercial realm? And what have you found are some of the things that are surprising or that you didn't expect from getting involved in the commercial realm before you jumped in?
Yeah, man. Well, I'll say this. I'll say this, Rick, being a part of Brooks and Davis for over 24 years, actually June of this year made 24 years of me being in the real estate industry itself. Hadn't had a chance to celebrate it yet, but believe me, guys, I'm putting together something. So I'll be inviting the world out to come celebrate that 24th anniversary with me. But just to answer your question, Rick, commercial has been it's a learning curve for me, right? Because we've done transactions with Brooks and Davis through some of our agents and through the CEO of Brooks and Davis, Michael G. Davis. And so we've watched and orchestrated on the back end, but to be in the activity of it every day, reaching out to people, letting people know that I'm a part of it, learning the business of helping people go out and acquire land for large parcels that they plan on building on. And so it's a small learning curve, but I've been excited about it because one thing about real estate is when you all in and you know how to lead generate, you're going to find a way to grow. So just being in this organization, lead generating, reaching out, focus on residential and leasing and things of that matter. That's been fun because I've been invited to be the exclusive commercial real estate broker for several of those organizations. So I'm excited about that. And saying that, if you're out there, you're a real estate brokerage firm that focuses mainly on residential, I'd love to be, us at Arvo would love to be your exclusive commercial real estate brokerage firm. We do partner up with companies quite often. And like I said, us, because going into Arvo and joining that team over there with George, Ed, Tiffany, it's been amazing. It's team. You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing anything by myself. We have someone that handles every aspect of us getting in together. So if I'm signed on, I do a deal with you. The team is working on it together to help out people that are looking to acquire lease space, acquire land, acquire industrial space, whatever that may look like your commercial need is. I have a team that's in the process with me that's helping us knock it out the ballpark. So I'm excited, man.
Hey, no, you should be, man. And congratulations to you, man,
Thank you,
because
sir.
everything that you're doing, man, it's something that, as someone who's worked with you and partnered with you,
Yeah,
it's so exciting to see you stepping out on faith with confidence
yeah,
into something that, like you said, after 25 years in the game,
yeah,
it takes a lot to step outside of your comfort zone.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
kudos to you, man. Keep doing it, man. And anything that we can do to help, assist, or get involved, be sure to let us know, man, because we're
Yeah.
gonna rock with you regardless.
It's,
You
and
know
it's
the
about beautiful relationships, Rick. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like it's really, it's funny because when you jump into a new space, you take on the mindset of what you've been teaching and coaching other people on how to do. So as we've been building out the Brooks and Davis brand, you bring on new agents and you're telling them, hey, this is what you do. This is don't get fear. Do this step. Have faith of a mustard seed that is gonna come. Do the activities. And so now putting myself as I take a step out here. I'm having to reorganize what faith looks like, how to avoid fear, how to get on that phone call and make contacts with, decision makers of Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 50 companies that are making decisions when it comes to, where their next land acquisition or their build out is going to be. So, I'm doing those steps that I've been teaching these people that don't come from a sales background or just getting into real estate. I'm using the same strategies that I've been teaching in order to jump in and dive in myself and not have any fear, or have
And that's
not
no,
that fear, neutralize my talents.
no, that's great because that's a perfect segue
Yeah,
into you providing our audience with a little background as far as this week's guest.
that's
You
right.
spoke earlier about commercial real estate and how your passion now is to help those who are acquiring acres,
That's
who
right.
want to do some things that are on a larger scale
Yeah,
than what most residential agents are handling on a day-to-day basis. So,
correct.
as you do always at this time of the show, Larry, could you share with our audience a little bit about your relationship with this week's guest and how you were able to gain their commitment to sit in today with us for an interview?
Yeah, man. So it goes back to one of the things that you and I say just about weekly on the show, and that's relationship currencies. You go out, you meet people, you tag, you follow people on social media as well, and you continue to build that relationship. You continue to watch your organizations grow. So today's guest, man, had a chance to meet her probably about a year ago. We were at a White Star title event with Kip and his organization, and she was actually the person that was hosting the beverages, as I like to say, adult beverages. And so having an opportunity to participate and just watch her growth and the things that she's doing in her organization and what she's building out, and just the way that she's empowering not only herself, but the women that she comes into contact with, man. So we've just had a chance to build that relationship, watch that relationship grow. And today we have the pleasure and opportunity of having her on the show to pour into the audience about her successes and ways that they can be successful in their visions as well.
Man, thank you so much, man. Let's not waste any more time. So,
Yeah.
without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to our audience. She is not only an expert winemaker, she is a seasoned entrepreneur, and she is most importantly the owner and founder of Franklin Vines. I want to thank her so much for sitting in with us, Larry. And I'd like to introduce to the Prime Real Estate Network audience, Miss Stephanie Franklin. How you doing, Steph?
Hello. Thank you all so much for having me. And I love the introduction. I kind of got goosebumps.
There you go.
No, I'm so super duper excited to have you sitting in with us, man, because I think this is going to be one of those seminal moments in Larry and I's interview history where we have an opportunity to truly say we sat down and interviewed her before ... because you're doing so many great things in the winemaking industry. You're taking the industry by storm. So first thing first, Ms. Franklin, could you please just introduce yourself to our audience and tell us a little bit about Franklin Vines?
Absolutely. And thank you again. I am Stephanie Franklin. I'm the founder of Franklin Vines. Franklin Vines started out, I remember sitting in a wine certification class and I'm like, I want to make wine and I want to plant a vineyard. And before I knew how to do anything or what I was going to do, I rushed out and I got Franklin Vines registered because I knew that's what I wanted to call the vineyard, Franklin Vines.
Yeah,
and so I didn't want anyone to take that name. So like I said, it was very early on. I established that in 2019. And from there, I was just, immersing myself into the wine industry. I was trying to learn everything that I could, putting myself in spaces where I could learn, going to seminars and finding mentors and reaching out and not being afraid and shy.
Yeah.
And so I then, as I continue to study, I'm like, okay, I want to make my own wine. And I had no idea where to start, but that I just remember that moment in class. But we have a Texas wine school out here, and I remember having a sip of wine as I'm listening to the instructor, and I'm like,
oh, wow,
I want to be a winemaker, and I want to plant a vineyard, and that's literally been the road that I have been down since 2019.
Wow,
it's amazing. In the short amount of time, less than 4 years probably, that you've been in the wine making business, and the amount of leaps and the amount of steps you've taken to put yourself in a position to be able to launch, to be able to expand is something I think everybody in our audience should take notes from and apply. But you heard me mention before we introduced you that I'm very proud that Larry and I are having a chance to interview you before the big blow up. So for our audience who may not know, could you just let us know what really exciting events are coming up in the very, very near future for not only you, Miss Franklin, but everybody over at Franklin Vines?
Absolutely. So tomorrow you can catch a segment on Good Morning America. Tomorrow, tentatively, things change in media. So they'll be sharing the history of Shankleville. And there's a small little piece in there where they're interviewing me about my plans to plant a vineyard in Shankleville.
Wow. Okay. Now, those who check out the Prime Real Estate Network podcast every week, they know in our audience that Larry and I are proud graduates of Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches, Texas.
Facts.
which has allowed us the luxury of being able to travel the highways and byways all over the great state of Texas.
Yeah.
And Larry and I have had the opportunity to drive through Shankleville. So for those in our audience that may not have had the same luxury as Larry and myself, could you just introduce our audience to Shankleville, the significance of that area, and why that's the area you chose to be the home of Franklin Vines Vineyard?
Absolutely. So Shankleville, I'm going to give you a little bit of the history, and then I want you all to go and read about it. So Shankleville is a historical town. It's a freedmen's colony. The town was founded in 1867 by Jim and Winnie Shankel. After emancipation, they bought land in Shankleville, and they built churches and planted crop. And I was a Shankel, so I'm a descendant. So because of the history, and I cannot take the credit, and I don't know if my cousin is watching, but I remember being in Lake Charles, Louisiana, in my grandparents' home, and I was telling my cousin about my big dreams of wanting to make wine and wanting to plant a vineyard, and he probably thought I was nuts because he knew I had $0. But he entertained the conversation, and he was saying, Stephanie, why don't you plant in Shankleville? And I would be 120% honest. I did not see the vision. I'm like, there's not that many people up there. Like, I don't know who's going to go to Shankleville to see for a vineyard, a winery, a tasting room. And he said, you would be creating a reason for more people to come through. They can learn about the history. And so again, not in that moment, but it kept weighing on me. And I don't know if you all have had like a situation where it kept nudging you, like you kept revisiting the idea. And that's what happened. Like, I guess almost 6 to 8 months. And I'm like, I don't know. And I remember going to the town when nobody was like, when it wasn't a festival or anything going on. And I wanted to walk it and feel it and see if, it would be right for me, for a vineyard. And in that moment, I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then in that moment, when I said, okay, yes, I want to plant in the area, it became less about me and my big dreams of running through a beautiful vineyard. And it became more about, what can I do to shed light on the town? Wow. What can I do to create more jobs? Like the vineyard can bring more jobs. It can bring more tourists to the town. It can be a project where schools can partner and I can have internships. That's right. So again, it became less about me and more about, how can I help others? And so, but still in that moment, I had work to do. Just because I wanted a vineyard there doesn't mean I can plant there. So I had to but we all want things, Yeah. So I remember talking to a viticulturist, and we had to test the land. We had to do a land analysis. We had to do a soil analysis. So I was working with Texas A&M. They have an agriculture extension agent in Newton County, and we tested the soil not too long ago. And I remember her saying, "Oh, I can do it." I'm like, I want to be hands-on. Like, I want my hand, I want my hand dirty. Yeah. And so, we sent all of that off, and the pH levels and the acidity came back phenomenal for the area. And so I'm like, okay, I can grow grapes, specific varietals, of course. Yeah. So that's what really brought it on. And because otherwise I wanted to do something like in the Texas Hill Country or the Texas High Plains, where grapes are known to thrive, because it's the AVA area. But again, so this is a heart-filled project. So yeah.
What's amazing about it, and I don't think and I value everything you just said, because one of the things that I've noticed after spending so many years in East Texas, in the small towns, you can really build something around this, right? Like, I've been to things in Gilmer, Texas for Yam Festival, where they have a whole weekend of activities about candy yams. I had no idea. We throw them in a pie here for Thanksgiving, and that's it. But in certain areas, there's things that become bigger than the city itself. And so I definitely can see this being one of the things that's going to build up the knowledge base of the area that you're going to be in, as well as it becoming building a festival around it. And then when the festival isn't taking place, it being a place where people can escape to when they want to go and enjoy wine. So that's amazing.
You're absolutely right. And funny that you mentioned yam. Shankleville is known for purple hull peas. So there's a big Texas purple hull pea festival every year. Yeah. And so, so people come out from all over to participate in this festival. There's a purple hull pea shelling contest and a pea picking contest, and they have food and activities and everything. And one of the things that, as I was thinking throughout and kind of creating a vision of what's to come, I would love to do like a first wine and food festival in the small town of Shankleville. I think that would be so amazing. We often see those things in big cities and big towns. Yep. And but yeah, I have a lot of things I want to do.
I love it. We're gonna be a part of some of those things, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephanie, I have to ask you this question. Being a member of such a historic familial bloodline like the Shankles, who did so many significant things historically, at what point of your childhood was your family history taught to you? Is it something that around your family, the spirit of entrepreneurship and building is something that's just always discussed? Or is it something that you had to evolve into? Because I guess I want to know, what were you doing before you flipped the switch and started to chase your passion of winemaking and entrepreneurial business building?
That's a story.
We're here for it.
We're here for it, no doubt.
So I was in corporate. Out of high school, I went straight into corporate. I didn't go to college until my adult life in my mid-30s. Um, I got the corporate bug, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, because in high school I was always in theater and plays, and so I wanted to run off to New York, which I did, by the way, and become an actress. So I did that in my mid to late 20s, and then I came home because I'm like, okay, I need to figure out my life. I should have started this earlier, and I really thought I was going to continue to climb the corporate ladder. I was with the company for about 14 and a half years. And I was kind of planning my life around that. And I remember one day I was participating in a community service event, and we were volunteering. And I'm like, wow, this is so rewarding. Like I wanted a rewarding career. And so that's when I tapped into researching nonprofit. So after spending almost 15 years at a company where I thought I was going to retire, because that's how life is. I was taught, you find a good company to work at, you stay and you retire, and you take the pennies from the 401k, and then that's your life. And I knew that route wasn't going to be for me. I resigned and I went to work for a nonprofit. I remember people thinking I was nuts. They're like, what are you doing? Are you getting paid? I'm like, yes, I'm getting paid. And at the time, I couldn't share that I took a huge pay cut because I didn't want anyone in my ear. I knew what I wanted to do, and I did it. And even though I wasn't making a lot of money, I was so happy and I was so fulfilled. I was, at the end of the day, it was a lot of hard work. We're working in nonprofit, but it was rewarding. And then I was working with disadvantaged kids. And so anyway, I did the nonprofit for about 4 years. And I'm like, okay, this cannot be it either. Like, I can volunteer my time. So again, I was searching for something that would make me happy. And I remember talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she said, Stephanie, tap into your interests. What do you love? I'm like, I love food and I love wine. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do with that? Right? I didn't know at the time. I researched food first. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to be a chef. I don't want to do any of that. So I started researching wine, and I saw how broad wine was. And then I learned that we had a Texas wine school, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to enroll. So I enrolled in the wine school without knowing exactly what I wanted to do yet. But that was my segue into the wine industry. And in October of 2020, I was laid off due to COVID. So that allowed me to really dig deep into the wine industry. I got offered an internship in Napa from Instagram.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. And then after that, I did an internship in Texas. And, I was in such a weird space because I was unemployed. And I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Like, what am I going to do? And so I like to think of it as it was a blessing within a storm. Like, I was unemployed, but then I had all of these opportunities that came about that allowed me to really embrace it. So,
wow. Well, Queen, don't even worry about it, because your time is coming and you are turning the corner. Because like you mentioned earlier, man, after your interview airs on Good Morning America and everybody hears your interview with Michael Strahan, I'm sure your phone, your DMs, and everything is just going to be blowing up like you've never seen before. But my question for you is, for those members of our audience and everybody who's known you before the blow up, how can we get involved in the Shankleville Wine Project? How can we reach out to you? How can we get involved? How can we become a part of your movement? Because the thing that you're doing in Shankleville, Texas, considering the history behind it and all the stuff that that's going to be spotlighted. I think it's something that definitely needs to be highlighted, talked about, and yelled from the highest rooftops. So, how can anyone in the audience, anyone who hears the sound of our voices, get involved with you and your wine project in Shankleville?
Absolutely. I want to back up just a quick second, though. So, for those that don't know, I currently have wine in barrels now. So, my first vintage has been aging since September of 2022. I'll officially launch next year. I don't want to throw a date out because I don't have an exact date. So, I'm very proud. I'm very excited to share her with the world. You know, I want everyone to love it, but I know everyone won't. So all of my Texas wines will be dedicated to the town of Shankleville. So, and what I have in barrels is a Tannat. Tannat is a grape varietal. It originated in a little town called Mataron, France, but it grows extremely well here in Texas. And the custom crush facility that's making the wine is Bending Branch. And I have to give them a shout out because my mentor, Dr. Bob Young, has really spent a lot of time with me, educating me. He gave me a chance. You know, he spent time with me, you know, teaching me things in the wine industry and the wine business. So I'm forever grateful for him. And so how can you all help?
Yeah.
So the Shankleville Vineyard Project, obviously when we break land and when we get ready to plant, I would love everyone to come out and help plant those vines. And anyone who wants to donate to the cause, you can head to my website, franklinvineshtx.com, and you are more than welcome to donate, come out, help, support, even if it's like, you know, come out just to say hi or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so however anyone wants to help, I would appreciate that. Because like I said, it's more than just about me now. It's about the community.
It is huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm super excited because now when it's Purple Hull Pea season and they have the festival, then they can stop by Franklin Vineyard and, and make an all-around weekend out of it, man. I'm super excited for you. I'm super excited for you.
Absolutely.
So Stephanie, please share your Instagram, all your social media handles with our audience. I want everybody to follow you, become a part of the movement. And is there anything you like to share with our audience in closing?
Yes. For anybody, specifically speaking to women of color, or just women in general, middle-aged, who have a dream and they're feeling like, oh my gosh, I need to stay where I am. I'm too old to get started. I'm just going to ride this out and do this on the side. I'm not encouraging you to quit any jobs. My situation was a little different. I was laid off. Go for your dream and don't look back. Don't stop. Just continue going. Continue going. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's a lot of hard work, but it's my baby. And I'd rather get up grinding for my own every day and putting my blood, sweat, and tears into my own. So that's a little piece of advice from me. And for those that want to follow me, I am on Facebook, Franklin Vines Wine, Instagram, Franklin Vines Wine, and then my Instagram journey into wine. Everything that I have done to get to where I am now, you can see it on Franklin_Vines. That was my journey. So I definitely want to throw that out there. I've had so many exciting opportunities along the way, and I'm very blessed to be in this position. And I can't wait to see what's to come.
Wow. Look, I want to thank you so much, man, for sitting in, man, because this has been such an enlightening conversation, as well as uplifting and empowering. So thank you so much, man. I wish you nothing but all the blessings that can be bestowed upon you, because the work that you're doing sometimes can be underreported. So Larry and myself like to make sure we bring inspirational stories like yours to the masses and let them know that there are still people out there chasing their dreams, chasing their passions. And the most important thing, and I want to give you kudos, is that you didn't let calendars, clocks, or your age dissuade you from stepping out,
Right.
like Larry said earlier, with the faith of a mustard seed.
Come on, man, you got to do
No
it.
doubt.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I don't believe in playing the age game. Like, I think that you can reinvent yourself however you choose to. Come on, man. We got like the president of the United States is like 85 years old. Come on, you mean to tell me you can't chase your dreams?
You're right.
Come on, let's go.
And I'll be honest. I was bothered. I'm like, what am I doing? I wanted to turn back around and go to what was familiar.
Yeah.
Going back into corporate. And but I'm like, okay, I've come too far. And then I had my friends, Stephanie, what are you talking about? Keep going. And so again, family, friends, support, that's really important as well.
Yeah. Wow.
I want to thank you so much, Stephanie, man. Please keep Larry and I informed. We want to be there at your ribbon cutting. We want to do any of that. And when you want to come back in and keep everybody up to date, you have a seat with us anytime, Queen. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Come on now, man.
Hey, man, listen, I love when people follow in their dreams, man. And I love that, nothing worthwhile is supposed to be easy, right? You find fun and enjoyment in the journey itself. So, man, I love how just the way everything just played out perfectly with the internships and the opportunity to just get absorbed with being into wine. Like, it was not, so this is not just something you threw out of the playbook. Like, I was wondering, I was going to ask, she ended up answering the question, but I was going to ask the question. Was this started because of that? Remember that show where the young lady would drink wine? She had the big, beautiful wine glasses, but it was a president show. She was like the equalizer for the president.
I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of the name of the show, but I was like, that made you want to get in. But when she talked about her journey and how she found her passion, like she was really digging deep to figure out, like, look, this is my life. What do I want to do? What do I enjoy? That's a faith out within itself. A lot of times we all get stuck in areas that are not enjoyment to us. And so, and especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, it is not an easy road traveled. So to be in the entrepreneurship and to branch out from growing it, that's amazing. And we definitely want to be able to highlight and support every step as she grows into it, man. So by all means.
Nah, man, man, great interview, man. Great guest. Nice hat, cool button up golf shirt you got on this week, brother.
Hey, shout out to Ed Ryland, man. He's the one that put my gear together for me. Got me tapered up here with it.
It's nice that he got you laced. So now, with all the new threads and new apparel, what's going on this weekend in the world of the Texas Real Estate King and everybody at Arvo Commercial?
No doubt, man. So we'll be in the city, man. There's just I don't know, man. Everybody being and working and going out and enjoying our summer heat here in Houston, man. So I don't have anything identified, but most definitely, if you follow me at Texas Real Estate King on IG, I'm always posting not only events that's taking places, but opportunities for people that want to volunteer, opportunities for right now as we're going into this last school year, scholarship information. So I'm posting a lot of stuff about free money for your students or your kids or organizations that you work for that work with kids as they're looking for scholarship money to help them pay for books, to help them pay for schooling. And so there's things that'll be on my page about that. But so definitely like and follow. And those of you that follow us here on the Prime Real Estate Network platform, please like, subscribe. Feel free to send that out. We want to get this video to touch 1,000 people if we can. So like, subscribe, 1,000 people. We want to get this out there for people to help grow their visions.
Hey, man, look, man, great message, man. I hope everybody follows your advice. Great work that you're doing, man. We're going to keep everything growing. Hey, look, if you need any advice as far as commercial real estate, you can always reach Mr. Brooks at Texas Real Estate King on Instagram. If you need anything as far as residential, you need relocation services, you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, you can reach out to me directly at Prime Real Estate. Rick, man, until next week, we hope everyone out there in the Prime Real Estate Network audience continues to be safe and be blessed.
Be blessed.